The playoff picture is finally coming into focus, but the chaos is far from over because we don't just want to make the dance, we want to run the floor. We know we have the NFC North crown locked down, but the road to the Super Bowl is filled with three very different, very dangerous paths. This is the ultimate breakdown of who stands in our way, and trust me, one of these matchups is the stuff of legends. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Listen, we are building something massive here, and the energy you guys are bringing is absolutely electric. Before we dive into these insane playoff scenarios, do me a massive favor. Hit that like button, share this video with every Bears fan you know, and make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss a single update as we chase this ring. The regular season is winding down, but the drama is ramping up to an all-time high. We are heading into Week 18, and while we can't snag that number 1 seed, that's going to be a battle between Seattle and San Francisco. We have everything to play for. We are looking at either the number 2 seed or the number 3 seed. And does it really matter? You better believe it matters. Here is the situation. It is actually pretty simple, but the implications are huge. If we go out there and handle our business against Detroit, we wrap up the number 2 seed. Even if we slip up, if the Eagles lose to the Commanders, we still secure that number 2 spot. The only way we slide down to number 3 is if we lose to the Lions and the Eagles manage to beat Washington. Now, let's look at the schedule because the NFL did us a solid here. Both our game against Detroit and the Eagles' game against Washington are happening in the afternoon window at 3:25. That means no scoreboard watching, no competitive advantage for anyone. Everyone has to play to win. There is some chatter that Philly might rest their starters, and honestly, even their backups might beat Washington with Josh Johnson under center, but we cannot rely on that. We have to assume our guys are playing to win. So, to simplify it for everyone in the back, a Bears win equals the number 2 seed. An Eagles loss equals the number 2 seed. We only fall to 3 if we lose and Philly wins. It is that cut and dry. But here is where it gets spicy. Who are we actually going to play? There are 3 teams on the menu for the wild card round, and each one brings a completely different level of stress. Let's start with the scenario that I know every single one of you is thinking about. The most likely scenario. The one the football gods seem to be setting up perfectly. The Green Bay Packers. If we lock up that number 2 seed, we are almost guaranteed a date with Green Bay because they are locked into the 7th seed. They cannot move up. They are likely going to rest their guys this week because their fate is sealed. But imagine this, Bears vs. Packers. Part 3. Soldier Field. The playoffs. Does it get any bigger than that? I have to be honest with you, the atmosphere would be absolutely unhinged. It would be electric. Sure, it would be stressful. My heart rate is going up just talking about it. But that is playoff football. A rubber match against our oldest rivals for a chance to move on to the divisional round? That is the dream. And here is why you should be rooting for this matchup. Aside from the emotional payoff of sending them home, you want the number 2 seed for a strategic reason. If we are the 2 seed, we are guaranteed home field advantage for at least 2 rounds. Think about that. If we win in the wild card, we stay home. We don't have to travel. We make people come to our house, in our weather, in front of our fans, for 2 straight weeks. And if the number 1 seed gets upset? We could be hosting the NFC Championship game. Plus, let's look at Green Bay objectively. They are beat up right now. Rashawn Gary doesn't look like himself. Their defense is struggling big time without some of their key playmakers. And Jordan Love? He is clearing concussion protocol, sure, but he isn't playing Week 18. That means by the time he steps on the field against us, he won't have taken a snap since the second quarter of Week 16. You cannot tell me rust isn't going to be a factor there. Their defense hasn't looked the same lately, and they just lost a few more bodies against Baltimore. If you are a Bears fan, you have to embrace this. You want the highest seed possible, and you want a beat-up Packers team coming into Soldier Field. If you are ready to take them on, let me know. This brings me to the massive question of the day, and I want to see thousands of comments on this one. If you could handpick our first-round opponent, who are you taking? Do you want the rivalry match with the Packers? Do you want the Rams? Or do you want the 49ers? Drop your choice in the comments right now. Now, let's talk about the other possibilities, because there are two other teams we could draw, and one of them terrifies me. The Los Angeles Rams. This has been the team I have wanted to avoid like the plague. It is a very real possibility now after they lost to Atlanta on Monday Night Football. Which, by the way, who saw that coming? If we slip to the 3 seed and the Rams end up as the 6 seed, that is our matchup. So how do the Rams get the 6th seed? Two things. If the 49ers beat the Seahawks on Saturday night, the Rams are locked into the 6th. Sean McVay has said they plan to play their starters, but if the Niners handle business on Saturday, maybe the Rams decide to rest their guys against Arizona. Why risk injury against the terrible Cardinals team if your seed is locked? However, if Seattle wins, the Rams could still fall into the 6th seed if they lose to Arizona. I don't see them losing to the Cardinals if they play their starters, but crazy things happen. Here is my worry with the Rams. They feel a little vulnerable right now, sure. Their secondary is leaky, and Bijan Robinson just torched them. Matthew Stafford has started turning the ball over again. He has fallen behind in the MVP race, and while he has had an unreal year, 6 of his 8 interceptions have come in the last 5 games. He has that little bit of bad decision-making creeping back in. He is a gunfighter, and sometimes gunfighters shoot themselves in the foot. He gives you opportunities to take the ball away, and we know our defense feasts on that. But, and this is a big but, the Rams feel like a team that can just flip a switch. They have the experience. They have McVay. They have Stafford. Devontae Adams should be healthy for the playoffs, and Puka Nacua looks absolutely unguardable right now. That offense is high-powered, and in a do-or-die game, they make me nervous. It is a winnable game, but it is dangerous. The final potential opponent is the San Francisco 49ers. This happens if we fall to the 3 seed and the 49ers slip to the 6 seed. For San Francisco to fall to 6, they have to lose to the Seahawks, and the Rams have to beat the Cardinals. If the Niners lose, the Rams will be licking their chops to grab the 5 seed so they can play the NFC South winner instead of us or Detroit. I actually wouldn't hate a rematch with San Francisco. I know their offense is flying high, but we just proved we can score on them. We dropped 38 points on that defense. We were 2 yards away from putting up 45. We put up 440 yards of offense, and Caleb Williams played what might have been the best game of his career. He was making big-time throws, converting on 3rd and 14, and leading scoring drive after scoring drive. We didn't turn the ball over, and that is the recipe for winning in January. You might be worried about their offense against our defense, and that is fair. Brock Purdy is playing out of his mind. But remember, we would be playing at Soldier Field. The weather is the equalizer. If it is 15 degrees with a 25-mile-per-hour wind coming off the lake, Brock Purdy isn't throwing for 350 yards. He doesn't have the biggest arm in the league. They would have to rely on Christian McCaffrey, and while he is a beast, the weather slows everyone down. I think the elements favor us heavily in that matchup. Caleb has the arm to cut through the wind better than Purdy does. We were 3-point underdogs in their stadium. I guarantee we would be favorites at home. I don't love the idea of going back to the Bay, but bring them to Chicago in January? I like our odds. So, to rank them? I think I want the Packers first. Give me the home field, give me the rivalry, give me the beat-up defense. Then I'll take the Niners because of the weather advantage and how well Caleb played against them. The Rams are my number 3. I just respect that veteran firepower too much. One team we don't have to worry about right now is Seattle. With the Rams losing, the Seahawks can't drop below the 5 seed. They are either getting the 1 seed in the bye, or they are playing the NFC South winner. They are sitting pretty. And honestly, I am glad. I don't want to see Seattle in the wild-card round. Let's save that headache for later in the playoffs. So, the menu is set. It is going to be the Packers, the Rams, or the 49ers. We have broken down every angle, every scenario, and every advantage. Now, all that is left is to play the game. I hope this cleared up the playoff picture for you guys. We are on the brink of something special. We are so close to hitting our next huge subscriber milestone, so please smash that subscribe button and join the movement. We are going to be covering every single snap of this playoff run. Bear down,